What if I told you that Yu-Gi-Oh cards would sell for over $80 on pre-release, only to become worthless in the competitive scene just weeks later? That sounds crazy, right? Well, today we're going to be looking at three of the biggest hype trains that crashed harder than anyone could have predicted. Starting us off is the infamous Dark Cyborg, making its debut in Stardust Overdrive on November 17th, 2009. It immediately made waves through the market due to one specific line of text. Your opponent cannot set any cards on the field. And in theory, that sounds absurd, and people quickly began brainstorming all sorts of combos involving Dark Cyborg. Notoriously was the Dark Cyborg plus Anti-Spell Fragrance combo, which would cause a complete lockout of spells and traps on your opponent, since they can't set anything. As release came closer, it was around $60 to $80, making one of the most expensive cards of the set, with many expecting it to define the metagame for its time. So what actually happened? Well, nothing. It was quickly discovered within the community that it had many glaring issues, such as being too hard to consistently summon, requiring too many cards for the lock, and many other faster and more reliable decks being available in the metagame, such as Lightsworn, Blackwing, and Kawaki Miru even, which all released in the same set. And finally, despite all the hype, Dark Simorgh was a huge flop. Only 2 years later, in 2011, we saw the release of The Gates of the Underworld, a structure deck from Konami centered around the Dark World archetype, which uniquely focused on gaining beneficial effects off discarding cards. It saw the introduction of the infamous Grapha, Dragon Lord of Darkworld, the Gates of Darkworld, and seemingly did have major consistency improvements for the deck, and immediately came into contention for Tier 1 threat. The deck would soon become so hyped that nearly every single player expected to face it. This led to side deck counters, hyper-specific techs such as DD Crow and Shadow Imprisoning Mirror, which put a large target on Darkworld's back. To everyone's shock, in YCS Columbus that year, there was a mind-boggling zero top 32 Darkworld decks, making it one of the most famous examples of overhyping in Yu-Gi-Oh! In short, Darkworld failed due to other players' over-preparation for the deck before the event, alongside other factors such as less consistency than expected, and other strategies such as Tengu Plan or Hero Beat just being the better choice. Now, Dark Simorgh didn't fail because it was too weak, and Dark Lord wasn't unplayable, but they both suffered from one thing. Expectations became too high to even come near living up to. Every time a new card gets revealed, our Yu-Gi-Oh community searches for the next broken card. Sometimes we do find it, but more than not, history will repeat itself and hype prevails over the reality of the TCG.